In today's video, we're going to show you how to take your BMW's trim from this to this. Hey, this is Zach. Thanks for watching Kies Motorsports. If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at kiesmotorsports.com. If you're like me, you bought your car used and you didn't get to spec it out from the factory as you wanted. One of the options I would have selected is the Shadowline package, which blacks out your trim, but instead I got this. Now, if you're on a tight budget, you could still achieve the same look with something like paint or vinyl wrap, but in today's video, we're going to show you how to make it look perfect with the OEM Shadowline trim from BMW. Let's get into the install. All right, so let's begin with the front of the car. There are two pieces of trim. There's an upper piece right here and a lower piece right here that we have to remove. To remove these pieces, you do have to take the mirror off, and to take the mirror off, we have to take the inner door card out. First process in taking the door card off is we have to remove two T20 screws. There's one located behind this door handle here, and there's one located right back here. To remove the T20 behind the door handle, there is a plastic cover that you have to release. I like to use a pick tool here, and I get the top corner, press this in, and you're just gonna pop it straight out. Once you get it lifted like that, you can just pull straight out and it'll rock out like that. So for the clips on this, it basically just clips in and pops into place. So you just lift this top corner and it'll rock right out. Then you can take a T20 driver and remove this screw right here. Then with the same driver, you can remove this T20 located back here. Next, you can take a plastic trim tool like this so that we can remove the series of plastic clips that are surrounding the perimeter of the door card. Now I like to start in this corner down here. Basically, I'm just going to press this in there and rock it forward, popping out each of those clips as I go. Okay, just follow along the perimeter, popping those out. There's also one up here. Okay, I think that's all of them. Then what you're gonna do is you're going to lift straight up. It's just hooked over the top. And then there's just two more connections we need to release. For this first connection, you're gonna pull straight up right here, and it'll pop straight out like that. And then for this connection, it has a lever system, so you're gonna push down the black clip on the top, and this white lever will rotate down like that, allowing you to pull it straight out just like that. And then you can set your door card in a safe place. Once you remove the door card, we need to remove this piece of trim right here. So basically, if you just rock it back like this, it's kind of hooked around here on the window. You can pull this out and it'll come straight off like that. Now I like to pull it out, I don't know, maybe a foot up the window and let it hang here just like this. Now, if you have a tweeter speaker here, you can undo this connection in the back. I don't think you need to. As long as you have enough room to work here to get the mirror off, you should be good. Now, you are gonna have to remove this connection here. This goes to your mirror. It basically has these two little tabs you press down on and you pull it straight out and it'll come out just like that. After that, there's three T30s we have to remove to take the mirror off. There's two right here and then one back here behind the weather stripping. So we'll start with these two. And before you take this last one off, you definitely want to make sure you have a good hand on the mirror so that it doesn't fall. Take this one out, hand thread it the rest of the way. And once that's released, you can pull the mirror straight out, just like that. Put this in a safe place. Now, last step before we can remove the trim pieces is we need to remove this piece of sound deadening in here. What I found to be the best way to remove it is to pull this top corner out by hooking your finger under, kind of like that. And then it rocks out this way. That way it doesn't tear when you take it out. Now, I found it's best to start with the lower portion of the trim and then do the top last. Basically, this lower portion is held on by the weather stripping gripping the sheet metal. So what you're gonna do is get a grip on the weather stripping and the trim at the same time. I like to put my hand where the mirror was. And you lift up carefully and slowly. And see it popped up just like that. And what you're gonna do is continue popping it off the rest of the way. And that's how easy it is to take the trim off the bottom. Now, for the top piece of trim, you're not actually taking the weather stripping off. You're just removing the trim from the weather stripping. And the trick to this is being careful not to actually bend the trim as you pull it off. It's very thin metal and you don't want to actually pull it and bend it all out of whack. So what I like to do is take a plastic trim tool here. I release the bottom from the weather stripping, and then I insert my trim tool here. And what I do is I use that to guide it off the weather stripping. And as you go to the top, hold on to the bottom so it doesn't fall. And it'll pop off just like that, and it didn't bend. Then we can take our new piece of trim and you're going to line it up with this end of the door, and it'll actually hook on the top like that. And you're going to press it into place down towards the front of the car. So you want to grab it and you kind of just press it into place. You'll feel it actually clip on as you go. So just go back and forth and make sure it's all pressed into place. Once that's in place, we can install our new lower portion trim piece. Basically, I do the same thing where I line it up with the door at the end here and press it into place towards the front of the car. And it'll just snap all the way down into place. Once those are in place, we can reinstall our sound deadening. Then we can take our mirror and reinstall that. Line that up and press it into place and reinstall those T30s. Make sure you start by hand threading them in, and then you can snug these up with the driver. Then don't forget to plug back in the connection for your mirror. You'll hear an audible click there. And then what we're gonna do is reinstall this trim piece. Basically, I like to hook it over the inside and press it into the weather stripping on the outside to get it to snap back into place. So I start from up here. Make sure it's all going into the right area. Okay, just like that. Make sure that's all pressed into place. So I have my door card ready to go. I'm gonna reinstall this lever connection here. Press it down into place, and you will actually use the lever to lock it into place, and you'll hear that audible clip. Then take your white connection and line it up, and it just presses straight down to clip in. And then you need to make sure your door lock indicator is up in place and through this hole here. And then you need to take the door card and hook it onto the top part where the window is. Okay. And then before pressing any of the clips into place, I just like to go around and make sure I'm lined up, because you don't want to break these clips when you're going to put the door back in. The other thing to note is you will have to press this plastic piece on the door card under the trim here. You'll hear that pop into place. And once you're lined up, you can start to press all of those clips back into place, and we can reinstall those two T20s. Once those are reinstalled, you can take your plastic cover here. Again, it lines up in the back and pops forward into place. All right, and our door card is done, and we are done with the front trim. Now, for the rear of the car, there's again only two pieces here on the door, and then there's one last piece on the back. But we'll start here. It's basically the same process as the front, but there's no mirror in the way, so we don't have to take the door card off. So we're gonna start with this bottom piece, and you're going to try and pull it up. Now, if you can't get under it with just your hands, you can use a plastic trim tool. I like to just get that right under there carefully, give myself a grip, just like that. And then you can pull the rest off just like that. Then we can take our new piece. Now, I do this the opposite way, where I line it up with the front of the door and press it in towards the back. So let's get this in here. Press that down. That looks flush, and we'll continue to press it down towards the rear of the car. Then to remove the top piece, take my trim tool here. And again, this separates from the weather stripping, so being careful not to bend the trim, I'm gonna use my trim tool to slowly release it all the way down, just like that. And again, with our new piece, we're gonna line it up with the front of the door and press it into place towards the rear. Just like that. Now with the last piece of trim on the back, it's held in by 3 clips. one at the top, one at the center, and one at the bottom. I'll show you on the new piece here. These are the 3 clips holding it together. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our trim tool under it. We're gonna pop at the top, in the center, and then at the bottom. We're gonna rock it all the way out, and then we just press this one back into place. Set that aside for a sec. So we'll get our trim tool. We'll press that under the back clip. You already heard that pop out. We're gonna get it under the center clip, like that, and then under the bottom, and it'll pop out just like that. Now it's always a good idea to clean here while we can. I have a microfiber towel with some rubbing alcohol. Just gonna wipe this down while we're here because we probably won't be here again. Then we can take our new piece. We can line it up with the holes here. Make sure your weather stripping isn't caught underneath. Give it a little chiropractic action and it'll pop right into place. Then we can go ahead and repeat the exact same process on the passenger side. So as you can see, nothing beats the OEM look and finish. It matches perfectly, and it's exactly what I wish came from the factory. So if you're looking for something like this for your car, check out the links in the description. Thanks for watching Kies Motorsports. If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at kiesmotorsports.com. And we'll see you in the next video.